Greenwood. Kennan comes into today's game 8-0 on the season, a .97 ERA. Just a magical season for the three-sport all-stater Greenwood Bulldog. And that one's in there for a called strike right down the middle, and flag is behind 0-2.
The team that puts the ball in play the most is the team that's going to have most success this first game, especially with the top two pitchers in the conference facing head-to-head.
The Bulldogs in their cream white colors, swinging a miss on some off-speed junk, and it's a strikeout to start off the game for Aiden Kennan. Kennan now with 55 strikeouts. That's second on the team behind Carnes. Here's Ty Ruby, their left fielder, a left-handed bat. And he digs in for the Panthers in their road blacktops as ball one comes up high. They've got white trousers, royal blue numerals trimmed in white. Panthers in cursive, I believe, across the front in royal blue. And this is laced to right field, and it's going to get down for extra bases. As Carnes out there gives chase, he'll bring a rocket into second, but sliding in safely is Ruby with a one-out double.
I've seen the first two batters set fastball and hit the ball hard. Flag hit it hard, foul. Ruby comes in, hits it hard down the right field line, and they're just, Aiden's going to have to make sure he nips and pecks on the corners and doesn't leave anything fat over the plate. When you're facing, a team that's thrown as many shutouts and won as many games as Greenbrier, you can't just throw it over the plate.
Flag and Ruby are their two best hitters. Flag batting .313, Ruby .333 coming into today. Two of their better hitters, I'll say that much. Off-speed pitches in there for a called strike. This is Jack Runsick, their shortstop, a right-handed bat. Bashir's over even with the bag at third. Adams kind of holding the runner at shortstop. Dawson Holtz on the grass cut at second. Brady Pettigrew's over at first base about 3 steps deep. Here comes the 0-1. It's in there for a called strike. Kennan throwing the strike, just filling up the zone here early on in this one.
Wind blowing out to the right field corner, kind of a cross wind from left to right, blowing hard.
Yeah, it's up to about 15 miles an hour at first pitch.
Do it yourself, strike 3, fastball in the outer half, couldn't touch it.
Thank you, swing and a miss. 2 down, 2 strikeouts. I think a fly just flew into my drink.
Just pretend it's not there, you'll be fine.
Oh, boy. Anyway, yeah, we'll get back to more important stuff. Bircher's out in left field. Mitchell's in right and center. Carnes in right. And here is Carson Zachary. First one's in the dirt as Baylor Hostley knocks that one down. The battery mate for Aiden Kennan. Ball 1. Carson comes in batting. Where are you? I don't see him on our list here. Or Zachary. Where's the other? There he is. 284. 2 down here in the top of the first. Over but low.
And he'll be the pitcher today?
Yes. Right-handed bat. See if he throws right.
For some reason, I thought he was a lefty, but I could be wrong.
And here comes the 2-0 to Carson Zachary.
Good pitch.
Off speed right in there for a called strike. Look, he might have been taken to a strike, Keith, for some reason. There have been lots of strikes thrown.
When you get 2 outs, you want to be patient. You don't want to waste a runner at second base in scoring position with 2 outs. You look for fastball, and I'm sure Coach Bach, heritage of baseball coaches lineage, see a ball fouled off. He's probably told him, don't hit curveballs until you get a strike. Look for fastballs.
Bulldogs cream color tops and bottoms, navy blue numerals front and back. Bulldogs in cursive and navy blue across the front. Navy blue caps with a white G up front. Here's the 2-2 to Carson Zachary, and Kennan kicks and fires. Outside, Hosley knocked it down when the counts run full. Cody Kennan on deck for the Panthers if Zachary can extend the at-bat here. No relation, I would assume, to Aiden Kennan on the bump for Greenwood. Here's a 3-2 now, payoff pitch. Ruby out at second. And it's a little looper into center. Can Mitchell get there? He cannot. It'll one hop, and that'll be an RBI single for the Panthers. They strike first here in game 1 of this conference doubleheader.
And it's easy for the runner at second. He don't have to check to make sure that's down. He just went full speed, never slowed down, and it was hit off the end of the bat. It was just it wasn't a hard hit ball. And I don't think that Austin in center thought he had a chance at him because it was hit so soft.
Yep, I don't think he did either, Keith. Here's Cody Kennan now. He's their center fielder, right-handed bat, facing Aiden Kennan, our pitcher. And it looks like Carson's going to run for himself over there. He has the option of getting a courtesy runner as the pitcher, but he's going to stay there and run himself, and that's upstairs for ball one.
I'm not sure if Greenbrier has, when you have juniors and seniors that know how to play baseball, you cannot risk putting a young guy out there for some speed and then have base running errors. It's very crucial this time of year
Absolutely.
To make the most of your base runners.
That's true. Here's Kennan now. Takes a peek. And now comes home with the 1-0, and it's a little shot towards Adams at short. He'll gobble, throw to second. Dawson's there to cover. And the Bulldogs are out of the inning. But there's some damage. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 left on base. 2 hits, I beg your pardon.
When you hope, if you're Greenwood, you knew you were going to have to score anyway. But it's just, this is probably going to be the tallest task they've had all year to score off this pitcher. He's the best pitcher in the conference, stat-wise. He's led Greenbrier to a stellar conference record. I mean, they've pitched 1, 2. Basically their ERA is 1.99, and their conference ERA is even better than that. They've thrown 1, 2, 3, 4 shutouts in conference. So they know how to keep teams from scoring. Greenwood's going to have to find a way.
I want to thank all of our Grand Slam sponsors that have supported the broadcast throughout the season in this baseball team. Freedom Roofing, Mr. Keith Holt. ABC Signs and Printing, Crystal Moore. Adams Health and Wellness, Ty and Laura Adams. J&H Automation Engineering, Mr. Richard Hosley. Craig Gigerich, State Farm Insurance. MSG Waste Services, Heath Borum. Scott N. Branton Architects, and Top Notch Roofing. We love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, the place to go to get your ride looking right. 479-928-5516. Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield. And finally, West Fraser Lumber over in Mansfield. Proud supporters of Greenwood Athletics. We certainly want to thank the Travis family and also the Carson family at Duck's Body Shop for all of their support of Greenwood baseball. Thank you to Midwest Mariucci of Arkansas for sponsoring our grill down there. Hopefully Mr. Morgan's got them burgers a-flipping down there on that Blackstone. And R.A. Terry Roofing and Construction since 1978, licensed and insured. It's 479-831-9309. Ronnie Terry, a 1972 grad of Greenwood, a member of that 72 state finals team. Give him a call, 831-9309. Here's Dawson Holt to lead off for the Bulldogs. He looks at ball one from the right-handed flamethrower there. There's some gas on that. It's Carson Zachary. And Holt fouls this one up in the air. Catcher looking for it and makes the catch for out number 1. That is Flag back there, his battery mate.
I mean, you're going to see mid to upper 80s. And, in high school, if you had that was enough, you could be a good pitcher. But to be a great pitcher, you have to have some off speed, and he does that as well. That's why he's been as solid as he's been for Greenbrier.
And here is Adams. There's a little flare we just saw from them. Can they get to ours? And they do not. It's down as the center fielder gave chase, but could not come up with it. Out there is a Kennan. And it's a single for Harrison Adams. Yeah, 1 out.
The center fielder put a good glove on it, and I think the ground caused the fumble. I think he had it in his glove, and when he hit, the ball scooted out. But we'll take base hits any way we can get them.
Adams came into today batting .397. Here's Grant Carnes now on the season batting .408. So let's see if Carnes, Greenwood's right fielder, can get a little one-out rally going here. It's 1-0 Panthers, bottom of the first. Greenwood needs 1 win today to win the outright conference championship. Panthers need a sweep to win it outright. 1 ball count to Carnes. There's a shot towards short, double play ball. They go to second for 1 and to first. Got him just in time. 6-4-3 double play, and the Bulldogs erased just like that with the twin killing from the Panthers. Well, 1 inning is in the book, and the Greenbrier Panthers lead Greenwood 1-0. We'll take a quick break and get you ready for the second inning here on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. Whatever you got, 30 seconds or a minute, babe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. 5 seconds. We welcome you back to Greenwood. 1-0 Panthers of Greenbrier leading the Bulldogs here in this 5A West doubleheader for the conference championship.
You don't have to have a lot of hits, but if they're timely, a little hit off the end of the bat falls kind of softly in front of Austin Mitchell in leftish center field was enough to score the leadoff double or the second at-bat double from Greenbrier.
Here's Garrison Blacklaw. He went. Strike one called. Their third baseman, Blacklaw, comes into today batting .323. And Kennan kicks and fires. This one's lifted. Same spot. Can Mitchell get there? He has the bead on this one. Calls off Bircher. No problem for the center fielder. Out number one here in the top of the second. And Drake Carden now for Greenbrier.
Good to see Mitchell back out there. Last time we talked to him, he was tracking down a ball in dead center field, running through the fence.
Right. Yeah. And he made the finals for the National Play of the Week, I believe, last week on the Scorebook Live's national feed. Here's the first one to Drake Carden is a ball outside. Carden batting .288 on the season. Kennan up on top for Greenwood and brings the 1-0 home. It's high and tight. 2-0 now. To Drake Carden, their first baseman. Right-handed bat. Natural surface here at Greenwood. Just a little high, maybe. 3-0. 330 down the lines, or down the left field line, 320 in right. 350 in the power alley in right center, 365 in left center. And walked him on 4 pitches as that one was low. So a one-out walk for the Panthers. And here's Caleb Harvison. He is their right fielder. .268 batting average, right-handed bat. It's .375 the dead center.
Well, one thing you can't do against good teams that have good pitching is give them a lot of base runners and give them a chance to get 2 or 3 run lead.
Mm-hmm.
Greenwood's got to play good defense and minimize any damage that happens each inning.
Kennan's up on top from the stretch. Here it comes. Yeah, all right. We're looking at the play of the week last week. Voting ends next week, May the 9th, and right now Mitchell's ahead.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
Appreciate the Bulldog Nation getting out there. Strike called to Harvison. Kennan's up on top. Here it comes. This one's in the air. Carnes draws a bead. Sun beating him up in right field. He pirouettes a second time. Makes the catch, though, out near the warning track. Wind was pushing that one away from him. Good play out there from Grant Carnes.
Good footwork. Didn't take his eye off the ball. Opened his hips open. Changed directions. Of course, the wind kept blowing it across. We talked about that wind. We've seen it at a lot of levels. It, be a factor on high fly balls.
Yeah. Miles Miller, their second baseman, bats in the 9 hole, and he's batting .239 on the season. Here comes the first one with 2 outs. It's in the dirt and blocked by Hosley. Ball 1. You mentioned footwork, Keith, and that's exactly you don't think about that. You thought maybe it looked awkward, but Carnes just did a little hip. What do they call that? The old dipsy doodle drill back in the day.
Yeah, he popped his hips open well. Never took his eye off the ball.
1 ball count. Swing and a miss. That one got through but tipped fouled, so it'll be a dead ball. And their first base runner, Drake Carden, will have to stay put, I guess. He's their first baseman.
He's a big old boy. I don't see him taking off anytime soon.
He ain't going nowhere. 1-1 the count. Kennan up on top to the right-handed bat of Miller. He swings and misses, and he's in a 1-2 hole. Kennan a chance to get out of that one-out walk and limit some damage here. The Panthers lead 1-0. We're in the top of the second. 7 innings, doubleheader. Run rule's 10 after 5. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Aiden taking a long look in. Now he's ready. And here comes the 1-2 to Miles Miller. Just missed outside. It's been a 50-50 there.
Oh, that was a good call.
I did too.
Baylor was set up on the outer half. I thought it was about a ball and a half off.
Yep. 3-man crew today, and it's a dandy. 3 of the best in the area, without question. This is a huge game. It's how it's supposed to look. And just missed with that breaking ball. It just wrapped outside a bit.
Yeah, and that's one where if Hosley reaches for it a little bit, makes it look like it's more on the corner, he probably gets that call because I think where that went over the plate was probably closer to a strike than the last one.
Here's a full count pitch. There goes the runner. This was chopped towards third. Bashir couldn't handle it. It tied him up, and that'll be an error on the third baseman, and it'll go back to the top of the order.
Yeah, he made a decision to try to keep backhanding it, and it got it in between hop, and as a third baseman, you can't let that ball get to the line and down the line.
Well, up top is Paxton Flagg. He struck out to start the baseball game in the top of the first, and he'll get a second opportunity here in the second inning with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Kennan's up on top. Flagg batting .313. That one's outside, ball 1.
And this is where you hope the non-conference schedule. We always talked about how it wasn't really helping us when you see Rogers, Bentonville, and these guys running out. Guys out there throwing mid-80s, and we see Harrison throwing 68.
Yeah.
But this is what you play it for. Is you're ready for moments like today.
Kennan takes a look back to second, comes home with it, and that one's a called strike. That's a 50-50 pitch.
That was the same ball that was earlier.
Yeah, it would have been strike 3. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the second, 2 outs, 1-0 Panthers. Got one across in the first. Kennan, a walk and an error, and we've got runners on first and second here. That one's in the air and slicing foul outside right field area. Strike 2.
Got that one in on his thumbs, and all he could do was fight that one off and hit it foul to the right side. Hayden looking sharp early. We talk about pitch counts and stuff. Yep. This week they've got Thursday at Rogers Heritage and Friday at Southside. None of that matters. All that matters right now, not even game 2 matters. Yep. Game 1 is the only thing that matters right now.
Here's the 1-2. And it's ripped towards Bashir. This time he no problems it and goes to third and gets the force on his own. Fantastic job there. That ball always finds you, Keith, it seems like.
It will. It gives you one chance. It's going to see if you'll do it twice. Bashir does a good job over there. That's why he's there. You've got seniors, a senior-laden infield right now other than Pettigrew. So, these guys, it's up to them to do something what Greenwood hasn't done in a few years.
No hits, no runs, 1 error. There was 2 left on base for the Panthers. Middle of the second inning, Bulldogs down 1-0 here. It's the 5A West Conference Championship here in Greenwood. Greenbrier Panthers in town. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard. Looks like that the softball team is battling Greenbrier over across the center field fence, and it's 0-0 right now in the second inning over there. Greenwood can get the 2 seed wrapped up with, I think, 1 win over there in their doubleheader. There's action on the pitch over at Smith Robinson Stadium as the beloved Alma Airedales are in town for some soccer, and I think the girls can get in the state tournament with a win today over there in varsity soccer. I think the boys can solidify a spot with wins today, and then at Greenbrier on Thursday, they have room to lose a game with some help, but they can help themselves with a sweep of the conference games this week, and a good chance for the boys to get in, but the girls and boys should take care of Alma today, hopefully.
Dr. Smith over there watching softball. Is he reporting to
Dr. Smith's in center field standing beside Buffkin out there. We're going to see if we can get a home run to maybe knock him off the perch out there.
He's got the perfect spot to watch softball and baseball.
That's right. Hey, you guys crafty. Here's Pettigrew. And a called strike to the Greenwood first baseman to lead off the second inning. Pettigrew comes into today batting .388 and chopper. Slow roller. 3 hops. Third baseman gathers. But he got there in time, and Pettigrew's down 5-3 on the scorebook, 1 down.
Yeah, slow to swing down on the off-speed pitch and hit a soft ground ball to third base. And, errors are going to be the thing as well. Mm-hmm. Early in the year, you can make them early. Don't make them late. It'll cost you conference championships. And if both teams play clean today, this should be a really good game.
Here is Skaggs, Braden Skaggs, the hottest bat on the team, and he looks at ball 1 low. With 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Skaggs comes in batting, where are you, 6? There you are, .433. And 2-0 now.
He takes advantage of missed pitches more than any player we've had right now. Pettigrew was hot for a while, hitting pitches over the middle of the plate. We see another ball go outside. Skaggs is the other one. If you throw him a mistake, he hits it hard. He doesn't foul off a lot of balls. He puts them in play hard the first time.
Here's the 3-0 to Skaggs. 1 down here in the bottom of the second. He takes strike 1 down the middle.
Talking about Dr. Smith did a great job. I'd like to welcome Coach Ross with basketball from Charleston.
Here the chopper, shortstop, goes over to second base side, gloves across to first for out number 2. Yeah, B.J. Ross is going to be a great addition to the basketball family. and probably at the game here today. He told me he was going to probably come out and support. So, home run hire. Got to find a junior high coach now. Keith is Coach Coleman's a one and done for us. I appreciated him. Talked to him today.
No.
He's leaving.
Is he?
He's heading up to Mountain View to a senior girls job. So, hate to see him go, but sure enjoyed the day we had with him. As Bashir rips one out into shallow left center and the 2-out single for the Bulldogs. Bashir came into today batting .339. That's a good batting average as well.
He got hot. He's hot late. He's been really well, done a good job late.
Absolutely. That will bring up Aiden Kennan, Greenwood's pitcher. Kennan's batting .316 on the season. And he'll get the first one from Zachary. It's a laced right to the left field again. Back-to-back singles to left field. The Bulldogs coming up aggressive.
Now, we saw this with Greenbrier. The difference is you can get those kind of hits and be okay if you can get out of 2-out hits.
Yep.
We've had 2 outs now for 2 straight hits. We need a big one from the bottom of our lineup, kind of like what Greenbrier's gotten to get one on the board with 2 outs. Greenwood needs to do the same thing.
Here's Austin Bircher, our left fielder. He's batting .281 on the season, right-handed bat. Scott Holland comes into courtesy run for Aiden Kennan over at first base. Bashir's at second. And Zachary up on top for Greenbrier, the righty. Here comes the first one to Bircher in there for a called strike. 1-0 Greenbrier. We're in the bottom of the second here in Greenwood. 5A West Conference Championship settled today right here. Could be in game 1. And Zachary comes home for Greenbrier. That's at the knees for a 0-2 now to Bircher.
That's a tough call.
Yeah, good job of flagging. You talked about Hosley. He framed that one up well. Zachary kicks and fires, and that one was inside Bircher, just protected there and fouls it out of play. Still 0-2. Austin Mitchell on deck if Bircher can extend the inning here in the bottom of the second. Welcome those joining us on YouTube and Greenwood Sports Center on the live stream. Hopefully enjoy the broadcast. There's a mute button on there if you don't like Keith and I's commentary, as we've got plenty of complaints.
And insight and observations.
Here's the 0-2, and Bircher swings and misses. Well, the Bulldogs rally ends with a strikeout as they strand 2 left on base on 2 hits. No runs, no errors. Well, 2 innings in the book here in Greenwood, and the Panthers of Greenbrier leading 1-0 here as Aiden Kennan comes back up on the bump to get things rolling for Greenwood. As we want to thank our Grand Slam sponsors, Freedom Roofing, Mr. Keith Holt, Top Notch Roofing, Scott N. Branton Architects, MSG Waste Services, Heath Borum, Craig Gigrich, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. J&H Automation Engineering, Adams Health and Wellness, Ty and Laura Adams, ABC Signs and Printing, Miss Crystal Moore, and by the way, Richard Hosley over there at J&H Automation. I want to thank the Carson family over at Duck's Body Shop. They love big hits when it comes to Greenwood baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 479-928-5516. The place to go to get your ride looking right. Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 479-928-5516. And West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield, proud to support Greenwood Athletics. We certainly thank the Travis family over there in Mansfield. Well, back to the action here, top of the third. Aiden Kennan back to work, and it is going to be Ty Ruby, their left fielder, a left-handed bat, and he looks at ball 1 inside. Ruby scored the only run for the Panthers. He doubled with 1 out in the first. Over but low, ball 2.
That looked like it was the same spot it was to Bircher last half inning.
Kennan up on top. He kicks and fires. Outside, 3-0. Brennan Rogers behind the dish. Mike Durham's third base umpire. Paul Cates over at first base. Doesn't get much better than that, guys, around here. Here comes the 3-0, and Kennan sends one down the middle. Called strike to Ty Ruby.
Well, it's guys that take pride in their craft, and they take pride in getting it right. They don't hear all the noise. You can't really affect them. You can't bring a coach like McCrotty in here and kind of affect any change.
That's in there for a called strike. I think Ruby was just going to make him throw 2 strikes, so he got him. Now it's party time. Full count as Kennon's dug out of the hole for the Bulldogs here with consecutive strikes. Ruby's ready. The lefty. Here it comes. Got him. Backwards K. I think, you think, well, he can't throw 3 strikes in a row. He took him 3 balls in a row, but he sure did. Kennon came in there. That's a big strikeout, Keith. That's his 3rd on the day.
A lot of times a batter will look for a certain pitch or a certain location. It looks like he kind of leaning, looking away, and that ball came inside and got him.
Here's Jack Runsick. Fouls off the first pitch over towards the Greenwood High School offices. Strike 1. Kennon's up on top, and he's got his sign from Hosley. Here comes the 0-1. Outside. Good take from Runsick.
He's got to make a small adjustment. He's missing 2 balls off with that. If he can make just a minor adjustment, that pitch is going to be deadly.
That one's laced to left. Bircher spins and can't find it. It goes over his head. He'll field it, and it'll be a 1-out double for Runsick. Yeah, it's a ball that was laced over there, and really Bircher, I don't even think if he had taken a good angle at that was going to have a chance at it. It was had him burnt.
It'd have been close if he'd have dropped step with his right foot. The wind blowing in hard enough, he might have, but he had to read it just perfect off the bat.
Here's Carson Zachary, their pitcher, who singled his last time up. Was RBI single, as a matter of fact. That's outside, ball 1.
And it's the same thing mechanically Aiden keeps doing. He keeps pulling glove side. And, if you miss all over the place, they say it's not really something you can fix technically, but he's doing the same thing with that pitch every time.
Kennon's up on top. 1-ball count to their pitcher, the right-handed bat, Carson Zachary. Aiden checks out to second, comes home with it. Swing and a miss and some gas inside up under his hands, Keith. Good pitch.
And I think when you have a good hitting team, the hardest pitch to hit is a velocity fastball under the hands. It's just hard, and we've seen that the pitches they've hit for doubles have been out over the plate.
1-1 the count to Zachary, the Greenbrier pitcher. Here it comes from Aiden Kennon. Off speed's in there for a called strike. Just nasty stuff right there. Locked him up. Welcome those listening on the Sports Hog 103.5. You're home for local sports in the River Valley. No, we're here. No break. No, I'm sorry.
Throw the ball.
No, you're fine, sister. I threw you off with the call letters. I normally don't do that. You're fine. That's fine, no problem. Strike out there of Carson Zachary. He kind of fouled it, and Hosley caught it in his glove, but with first base open, I guess he was able to run. I thought he caught it, but
no, it hit the ground.
Okay, it did. All right. So down to first base, so there's 2 outs now, and a strike called to Cody Kennon, who reached on a fielder's choice to end the first inning. He's their center fielder.
And the umpire immediately made a safe call, like, no, he's not out. And it took a while for Hosley to make that throw to first, and kind of everybody almost panicked.
Yeah. 2 outs now, runner at second, swing and a miss from Kennon. And Kennon's ahead 0-2, or is Kennon behind 0-2?
Oh, he's ahead.
Oh.
The batter's behind.
Kennon, the batter?
Oh, that good one. You got me on that one.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I bet Kennon wins this pitch.
Kennon's going to win this battle. And that's high and tight, ball 1. Cody Kennon is the batter. Aiden Kennon, the pitcher. Same spelling. Maybe long-lost cousins or something. Because that's not like a normal last name, Kennon, really, We'll have to get to the bottom of this. It's kind of like the Driscoll kid from Siloam. Here's the 1-2.
Got him.
That's a strike. You're going to ask, and he did not go, but I thought it was a strike anyway.
It was.
Tough.
Rogers is he's not giving consistency at the knees. We usually see the outside pitch. He's been consistent there. It's really consistent. He's not giving a ball off. You have to hit the corner, but that low pitch it's not even 50-50.
Right. Here's the 2-2 from Aiden. And that time he got him. Rack him up. The backwards K for Cody Kennon. And the Bulldogs get out of a one-out double. They left one runner on base. They've left 4 for the ball game. Kennan now with 5 make that strikeouts. He struck out the side here in the top of the third. We will take a quick break and get you right back to the bottom half as Mitchell will lead off, then Holt and Adams for Greenwood. It's the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes.
Can't believe Coleman's leaving.
I can't either.
Ty absolutely loves him. I mean, he's a great guy, works hard.
I mean, I guess the varsity job wasn't too enticing. I don't know. He may not like BJ Ross. I don't know.
Is BJ
We're still
gonna,
live on the screen.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Is BJ going to have a say, I guess?
30 seconds. Mm-hmm. What about BJ? Thank you. Yeah, I hate it. I don't think it's anything with Coach Ross. Well, we are back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard. Austin Mitchell leads it off for the Bulldogs. Mitchie comes in batting .236, and he's first pitch swinging to left field. And the left fielder makes a stab running towards the foul line for out number 1.
He got around that ball. It had some hook. It was really a good catch. Left-handed left fielder having to reach out and get that ball towards the line. If he's playing any more towards center field, that ball's a hit.
Back to the top of the order, and Dawson Holt. Docs came in batting .288. He popped out to the catcher his first time up, and first pitch just missed. That one a little high. Strike 1.
Well, I think more than anything, Coach, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They've had some success.
Mm-hmm. There's one. He reached out and tapped it to short. One hop. Can he beat the throw? It was close. Holt getting down the line, but he's out 6-3 on the putout.
Just out front on that off-speed pitch. Not going to give Dawson a fastball, and he kind of just threw his bat head out there. Made good, solid contact just right to the shortstop.
Well, here's Harrison Adams. Bulldogs 3 pitches into the inning. Zachary trying to make quick work of Greenwood. Let's see if Adams, who's got our only hit today, or one of our only hits in the first inning. Off speed's in there for, nope, a little high, I guess. Ball 1. 2 outs, bottom of the third, 1-0 Greenbrier. Adams looks at one outside, 2-0. Harrison Adams, Greenwood shortstop.
This is a big at bat just to let the pitcher throw some pitches this inning and not get away with just throwing 3 or 4 pitches. Right.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Adams batting .397 is 1 for 1 today. He was cut down at second in the double play ball. Carnes hit. That's low. 3-1 now.
I'd like to see a gun. I know we know he has some velocity. I don't think he's high 80s right now at this point. Do you?
It's close. It's got a little fuzz on it. Walked him, though. We'll take it. And the Bulldogs have a base runner again here in the third. And here's Grant Carnes.
I'm usually pretty good at guessing velocity. And I'm thinking right now it's 86.
I'll give
consistently
you that.
86. Yeah. It's not 88, 89. I think they were expecting closer to 90. I think it's more like 86, maybe 87.
And that's off speed. They're trying to throw down the first, and barely in there in time as Adams almost got caught napping.
But you see the umpire move his feet and get in a better position to where he puts himself right between the throw and the tag to where he had the best view of anybody.
Yes, sir. 0-1, yeah. Called that a breaking ball in there on Carnes, a strike. 2 outs, Carnes. Ground into a double play first time up. Carson Zachary, the right-handed ace for Greenbrier, throws over. Adams back in safely. Let's see. Zachary he has a .83 ERA, as good as Kennan's. Don't have his record. This one's in there, fouled out of play, and Carnes going towards the high school office again.
He's pitched 42 innings and got 63 Ks in those 42 innings. Only 8 walks.
Impressive.
Kind of Nolan-esque.
Yeah. Brandon Brewer, the skipper for Greenwood, over at third base, going through the signs. Luke Hales over at first base. Here's the 0-2 to Carnes upstairs. 1-2. Harrison Adams, a 1-out or 2-out walk here in the bottom of the third. And Carden's trying to keep the inning alive here. 1-0 Greenbrier. Here comes the 1-2 and swing and a miss. He got him.
That's a very good changeup. That thing just floats up. He's got good movement with it, and it's like it almost puts on the brakes and slows down.
Well, no hits, no runs, no errors. 1 left on base. Greenwood's left 3 today. 3 innings in the books, and the Panthers leading 1-0. And it's about what we bargained for here. The Lady Bulldogs up 2-0 in softball, going in the 3rd inning over there. So they're trying to solidify that 2 seed, which would certainly help us in the postseason as far as a broadcasting standpoint goes. If the Lady Bulldogs can win one over there, get that 2 seed, and then Greenwood needs to win one here and get the 1 seed, that'd put us on opposite sides over there, and we'd be able to. I guess we'd still be able to get you both games, really, if it came down to it. We got a pretty good crew heading over to Marion.
Yeah, Marion, 11th, 12th, 13th next week.
Looking at 12:30 and 3 o'clock game times on Thursday. We'll have a radio for you in baseball for sure. We'll have a live stream for both over in Marion. If the seating is separate, we'll see if the softball folks would like to do some radio on their side as well. We'll cross that bridge later on today.
Well, we've always said sweep at home, split on the road. This is one of those times you'd be happy with a split. You just want to win the conference championship.
Swing and a miss says Garrison Blakelaw starts out the 4th for Greenbrier. He's 0 for 1 today.
And I don't even think that was one of Coach Brewer's main goals. When he came in here, it was to, improve the program. We see a short tapper.
Holt's got a charge. Can he get there in time? He cannot. And I think he's going to beat the throw anyway. That was a slow roller. Just took forever. Tough one there. Hit. Yep.
Yeah, nothing. That's the only play you have there really is a glove flip. I mean,
Yep.
You don't have time to do anything but flip it with your glove.
Right. So there's a leadoff single. And it's Drake Carden who walked his first time up and was forced out at third for the 3rd out in the 2nd inning. Kennan looks over to first, and now comes set up top, and Aiden kicks and fires. This one's in the air and up out of play, strike 1.
Well, Coach Brewer, I think what he wanted to do immediately is just make the state tournament. Be top 4, make the state tournament. And then as he saw the guys grow and everybody get better and the arms kind of took over where they're supposed to, then it was like, okay, let's go ahead and win the conference now. He kind of adjusted the goals and tailored them to what this team needed.
Here's the 1-strike count to Drake Carden. They throw over to first, and back safely is Blacklaw.
Because you and I have talked about it. You have to have pitching. Greenwood's got that. You just have to hit. And
yeah, absolutely.
So Greenwood right now believes that they can go win a state tournament.
And our fielding has been good enough. I mean, it's not A++, but it's been a good A. He went. They're going to ask down. Yeah, he certainly did go. And first base Blue says yes, he did. So 0-2 count now to Drake Carden. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Say hey to Ronnie Nelson, who's got us tuned in. Appreciate you, brother. Hope all is well with you. Kennan's up on top and set. Carden waits on it. Here it is. It's outside. Hit Hosley in the helmet. It goes over towards Greenbrier's bench. Actually, Pettigrew's going to flag it down. Wow. He'll take second base easily, obviously. Tough one there, man. I never seen it go off the helmet like that.
It had spin going that direction anyway, and sometimes you just have to pick it. I mean, there's no way you can get around the ball and then block it. And if he would have, that's what happened. It hit the ground, bounces off the top of him, and goes over here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to pick it. If it's such a bad pitch, you just have to.
1-2. Off speed delivery, slow roll to Bashir. He'll gobble. Throw to first. They got one. Back over to third. Got him. He did me. They went first, back to third. Oh, baby, double play.
Well, base running error on his part, and a great job by Bashir by just not even being phased by it. He hesitated enough to where the guy at second checked up and stopped, and then Pettigrew come off and threw a strike across to Harrison Adams that was covering third.
Mm-hmm. Does that go in the book as a 5-3-6 double play or no?
Yes.
It does? Okay. Fantastic. And now here's Caleb Harbison. Looks at ball one. He's 0 for 1. 2 down now. And a chopper in the air. That's fair ball. Nope. He called it foul, so it hit inside the foul territory, so it'll be strike one.
That was close. From this angle, it looked like it hit at the plate or in front of it and bounced in fair territory.
The plate is in fair territory.
It is, and it looked like that's where Osley got it. He didn't hesitate. He came up and was going to throw to first, but the umpire said it hit in the box.
Right.
Or that he got it in the box.
Here's the 1-1 from Kennan. He comes home with it outside. 2-1.
And to put it in perspective, we've got the better angle. We got the better view.
Right. Mm-hmm. 2 balls, 1 strike to Harbison. Their right fielder, fastball just missed inside. 3-1. Ethan Adams not here today with the coaching staff, so Brennan Rogers calling the pitches over there for Greenwood, and that's right down Broadway. Full count now to Caleb Harbison, their right fielder. Right-handed bat. Kennan up on top, and he kicks and fires. This one's in the air, out of play. Into the parking lot. Good to see my man Hondo out there. Got us tuned in the parking lot as well, Mr. Donnie Sandiford. Living that retired life. Here's the 3-2. That's a lace towards Holt, just over the outstretched arms into right field. It'll be a 2-out single for Harbison.
Yep, just out of the outstretched arms of Holt.
Here's Miles Miller. Reached on an error his last time up. Right-handed bat in the 9-hole for the Panthers. Kennan's up on top. He'll take a hard look over there at Harbison. Now comes set. And come home with it. And that was laced but pulled, hooked foul down the left field line. Out of play, Steerock 1.
And that was that inside pitch, that inside fastball to where it's hard to get inside the ball and keep it fair. So you're either going to pull it foul for a strike or you can hit it off the thumb somewhere. Not enough good hitters that get inside the ball and drive that inside pitch to the left center gap.
0-1 count to their number 9-hole batter, Miles Miller. He's their second baseman. Kennan's up on top and ready. Here it comes. And just missed outside. 1-1. My mom's got us tuned in. She said we're sounding good. 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Greenbrier leading 1-0. This is the 5A West Conference Championship doubleheader right here. Bulldogs need 1 win to win the 1 seed. Panthers need a sweep to get the 1 seed. Called strike. If they split, Greenwood obviously wins the conference. They're undefeated coming in. Bulldogs like to sweep and get through this conference championship unscathed. Add another plaque on the wall out there. Haven't won a conference title since 2018, I guess, what it says out there. Surely we're not behind on our lettering. Here's Kennan now. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. And with 2 outs, he'll throw down, and they'll complete the strikeout. Been nice if he'd have dropped that. They could have got the guy that didn't run to second.
I know, right?
I guess officially it goes down K2-3 if you're keeping score at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Aiden Kennan here on the day. They had 1 hit. They left 1 on base. They've left 5 on the day.
And that's the difference is that first inning timely hit where they put together a double and a regular single.
2 hits. I beg your pardon. Go ahead, Keith.
Well, it's Greenwood's going to need some of that timely hits. I mean, if you looked up there for a while, it was 3 hits apiece. Yep. They just made the most of theirs. Greenwood's had a couple of scoring opportunities and just can't come up with a big 2-out hit. And this game's going by fast. You're going to run out of time. You need to do something now and put all the pressure on Greenbrier.
Well, Pettigrew, Skaggs, and Bashir due up here in the bottom of the fourth. So if you want some go time, there's some guys to do it.
Yeah, and basically you've made the state tournament. You want to go in peaking now, and you want a conference championship. But to me, I'd rather go and win a state tournament than win conference now. That because everybody's going to remember. I mean, you can see how many conference championships. That state championship, the lettering up there, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Mm-hmm. And so if it means that it fires this Bulldog team up, whatever it takes, a lot of times you win a big game like Greenbrier. If they win it, they sweep, then they may go in and be flat in the state tournament.
Right. Well, here's Pettigrew. First one's outside, ball one. Carson Zachary back to work for the Panthers.
I'm not pre-excusing what's going to happen. I still think Greenwood's got a very good opportunity to sweep here, but they're going to have to hit the ball.
Breaking ball upstairs. A good eye from Pettigrew. That one looked fat.
That was that changeup. It's odd looking. I don't know if it's a knuckleball. I can't see close enough to see if it's a knuckleball, but it's a great changeup.
And then the fastball, Pettigrew's lifted into air. Is it going to stay in the play? It will not. The first baseman gave chase. Strike one.
Yeah, the flag's kind of changed direction. It's blowing straight out to right now.
Mm-hmm. Anything in the air to the right half of the field from this guy, if he can get some power behind it, he can leave the yard.
Yeah, and the right fielder's playing shallow. He's playing for that small base hit.
2 balls, 1 strike. Brady Pettigrew. Here it is. That one's fouled, just out of play. Kind of in off his hands. Keith tied him up. It's kind of a borderline pitch. He went ahead and came after it.
That sounds like they got your car.
May have. I've got one little dent up there on the front left quarter panel. I think maybe from a foul ball. Let's go get the hail damage, guys. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Pettigrew goes down swinging. Here's Braden Skaggs. Skaggs grounded out to short his first time up. He's our DH. Still waiting to get that fly out of my Dr. Pepper. Or Diet Dr. Pepper, that is. Not happy. First pitch swinging. That one's fouled back out of play. Steve, Rock one.
Jeff Goldblum. The fly.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, you could turn into. Did
he eat one? Is that what happened? I've never seen the movie, I don't think.
I don't think he did not eat one.
Mm.
He found a machine that was supposed to make him invisible or something, and when he came back, there was a fly in the machine, and it interlocked their DNA.
God. Strike 2 called the Skaggs 1 and 2.
He slowly morphed from a human to a fly.
There's another one buzzing my tower. Get out of here. Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt. 2 and 2 now to Skaggs. And speaking of Steve Reich call, rest in peace, Mike Shannon, longtime voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm obviously not a big Cardinals fan, but I love radio broadcasters. And he was one of the best.
Oh, that's a tough year for the Cardinals.
Yep. 2-2, fouled off. It hit the brick wall and went right back to the pitcher, so they're going to have to look at that ball. Probably got a nice scuff on it. And Zachary wanted to keep that thing in play. That would have been some nasty spin. Home plate blues on his tuck it in the pouch, so not much of a scuff. We're ready to go here. 2-2 now to Skaggs. And swing and a miss. There's that change again, Keith. Boy, he just slowed it down.
It did, and it's nasty, but he throws it for a strike, and you can't help but swing at it.
Right.
And that's why he's only got 8 walks this year. And, the difference today, Aiden Kennan is already at 69 pitches. Zachary is at 41, just through 41st.
Yep. Here's Bashir now. He singled his first time up. 1 for 1, and the breaking ball's in there for a called strike. 4 strikeouts today for Carson Zachary.
And if he hangs one, the breaking ball is what I'd want to hit. To me, it's more recognizable than that changeup.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 now to Bashir. That's where he was earlier.
And I don't think it's a cutter. He's taken way too much off of it. You can just see it slow down on the way to the plate.
No, I beg your pardon. He was first pitch swinging earlier on that single. Got him looking. Boy, 3 in a row. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Zachary put the Bulldogs down in order of 3 strikeouts. No hits, no runs, no errors. We've played 4 innings of baseball here for the 5A West Conference Championship, and Greenbrier leads game 1 here 1-0 over the Bulldogs. And we'd like to thank our Grand Slam sponsors, Freedom Roofing, Mr. Keith Holt, ABC Signs and Printing, Crystal Moore, Adams Health and Wellness, Ty and Laura Adams, J&H Automation Engineering, Richard Hosley, Craig Gigerich, State Farm Insurance, MSG Waste Services, Mr. Heath Borum, Scott N. Branton Architects, and Top Notch Roofing. Thank the Carson family, over at Duck's Body Shop. They love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident or catch a foul ball off the front quarter panel, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 479-928-5516. The place to go to get your ride looking right. And West Fraser Lumber, the Travis family over in Mansfield. West Fraser in Mansfield, proud to support Greenwood Bulldog Athletics. Midwest Mariucci, appreciate them sponsoring our grill here at home. Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction since 1978. Licensed and insured, 479-831-9309. 1972 graduate of Greenwood, a member of that 72 finals team. 11 state finals for the Bulldogs baseball program. I'm trying to think. I think it's top 5 or 6 in the state. I went through the record book, and there's Bulldogs all over that thing, and as individual players and team-wise. And here's Aiden Kennan with the top of the order and Paxton Flag, and he just missed with that breaking ball. Ball 1, top of the 5th here. 1-0 Greenbrier. Flag is 0 for 1. This one's in the air. Bircher's drawn a bead, drifting back and left, and nonchalance it out there for out number 1. Fantastic.
Well, you're 50 minutes into the game. You're into this is the top of the 5th, correct?
Yes.
And the reason is both pitchers love to work quickly. Both of them take only about 4 or 5 warm-up pitches and go. I mean, you're having to talk quick to do your sponsorship. This game is moving fast, and credit both these pitchers for moving along.
Here's Ty Ruby. Called strike to the left-handed bat. He's their left fielder. He's doubled, scored a run, only run of the game, and struck out looking his last time up. He's 1 for 2. This one's fouled out of play over towards the football field. Football field today, I guess.
Football.
Mm-hmm. 1 out for the Panthers, top of the 5th. They lead 1-0. And there's a ball that's
off his thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gives that man his thumbs back.
Into the Greenbrier dugout. Left-handed batting Ty Ruby.
See Carnes playing a lot deeper than what they're playing in right field.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of shading him to right field.
Here's the 0-2 from Aiden Kennan.
Got him.
Backwards K. Front door or a back door breaking ball, they call it, huh?
Oh, yeah, back door. Came around the back edge. Looks like it's going to be high and outside, and it just keeps coming. By the time you realized it was in on the corner, you can't pull the trigger.
Well, here's Jack Runsick. He's 1 for 2. He's doubled as well. Stranded out there in the 3rd. First pitch swinging, Bashir backhands, sets across the diamond. Can Pettigrew pick it? Certainly does. And they say he pulled his foot. Oh, boy. Called him safe. Nobody's covering second. Kennan luckily was wise to get out there. Oh, boy, said he pulled his foot.
That's a tough call.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough call. Of course, we don't have the view of it, but it looked like he picked it and kind of kept his weight back. I can't imagine he pulled his foot.
I can't either. And Brandon Brewer out to ask home plate blue. Obviously going to lose this argument, but you need to go ask, I guess.
And if you're home plate blue, you can't do anything but say, look, are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if he wasn't sure, he wouldn't have called it.
Right.
So you know he's not going to overturn this.
Right.
Good play by Petty.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen, that's the one he's been uncomfortable is those long mid-range picks. And that was a tough pick. That was probably one of the best picks he's had all year. And you're thinking, great job. Great job by Bashir by getting it. Mm-hmm. That was the same ball that got by him earlier. He makes the play, and they're going to call him safe.
So Runsick's going to reach on the error. And that'll be a R3, I guess, unfortunately. Runner at first. And 2 out still. Here's their pitcher now, Carson Zachary. Singled, struck out.
I'm sure Mr. Holland will let us know here in a little bit if his foot was pulled.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we had a good camera view of that. We'll see. 2 outs still yet, top of the 5th. And Kennan kicks and fires. Called strike.
Well, and he just got a ball and a half off the plate because if the umpire was like we were, it looked bang bang like it should have been out. Like you give them credit for that, like his foot. He has to be 100% his foot came off.
I agree. Here's the 0-1 to Zachary. Same pitch, just a little off though. 1-1.
Well, Hosley carried that one out a little bit more than he did the pitch before. And don't get me wrong, Hosley he's done an outstanding job to know that your job is you don't get to hit, but you're going to be the thankless job of catcher every game. Hosley's done an amazing job.
Absolutely. Here's the 1-1. 2 outs. Kennan takes a look. Now comes home to Carson Zachary. This is lifted straight back. That one's got my Yukon in it.
That's had some hair on it, too. That was a hard liner foul ball.
2 outs, top of the 5th. Bulldogs down 1-0. 9 outs left for Greenwood to try to get this first game win here and steal up the championship. 1-2. Got him. Backwards came. Zachary just headed toward the dugout. He knew he'd been had.
Aiden giving the dugout, I guess they chirp a little bit. We've known them in the past to be just a little chirpy, especially when things are going good. We've seen front run chirpers, where they're ahead, and once all you got to do is get them behind, and you win the chirping battle.
8th strikeout for Aiden Kennan here through 5 innings. They had 1 left on base. There was an error. They have left 6 total. 1-0 Panthers. We're in the middle of the 5th inning. Softball, what do we got going over there? Do you know? We're up 4-0. Fantastic. Bottom of the 4th. Good. And Sean trying to find this replay for us. This might be interesting. No. Yeah. Here's the pick. Oh, boy. It's hard to tell from that angle. It looked like the bottom of his foot would be tough to see from that angle. It was
against the bag. Instead of on the bag, it looked like it was pushing against the side of the inside part of the bag.
That's a great pick, though. Man, that's tough, Keith. And like we talked about, this is a great crew, and I'm sure Paul saw it better from where he was right there, Johnny, on the spot.
I mean, he puts himself in an angle to where if you look at him even on the replay, he's looking right down the line where he's got his foot in the bag. So he had to have seen it.
Kennan 1 for 1 today, single back in the 2nd. Aiden Kennan leads off the 5th, swinging away, fouls this one out of play, and almost went in Hondo's truck over there. Make a play on that, Donnie.
No, I don't think Aiden will see another fastball. I mean, you're probably going to see change up here and then curveball.
1 strike. Here it comes from Zachary.
Change up.
Swing and a miss. 1-0 Panthers. Bulldogs can win the conference championship if they can win game 1 here.
Fastball.
Same place, foul out of play, heading to the parking lot.
He's got one of the best, one of the better change-ups. You can find a good curveball. It's hard to find a good high school change-up.
0-2. Kennan rips this one to left, but the left fielder's drawing a bead. That's Ruby, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Well, here's Austin Bircher. Burt struck out to end the 2nd inning. First time up.
They've got 4 main pitchers. They're kind of like Greenwood. Their bulk of their pitching, 42 innings, 29, 23, and 22, comes from Zachary, Griffin, Harvison, and Blacklaw. Those are their dudes. And you hope to try to get past this one and do some damage.
1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Bircher squared the bunt, pulled back. Ball 1 in the dirt. That's a little trickery. Saw the Hogs small ball the heck out of A&M. They knew something about their fielding, I guess, last weekend. There's one ripped to left, a base hit, a 1-out single for Austin Bircher.
Good piece of hitting by Bircher. And, it boils down to you need base runners. You're getting down to you've got the bottom of the 5th. You've already got 1 out. So you're down to,
8 outs.
8 outs to go. And you can't score if you don't go touch first.
Here's Austin Mitchell now. Flied out to left to start the 3rd inning. Let's see if Mitchell can get this rally going here in the 9-hole. And he squares the bunt. It's down. A nice bunt. The pitcher's off. He'll have to field and go to first just in time. But a sacrifice is good. Move the runner over. 2 outs, though. I guess maybe try to catch him off guard on a 1-out sac bunt. Here is Dawson Holt now with 2 outs, top of the order. Dawson's come up clutch a few times this year. He's throw that double out there on you and get an RBI, and it's been a minute. It's time for Dawson to get it out here and be that senior and get one in the grass. They come in on him at center, boy, they're way shallow.
Oh.
Fastball right down in there. That's the one you'd like to have drilled right there, Keith.
Yes.
Wind is howling out to right now at about 15 miles an hour, right out of the west. Zachary's ready, checks the runner, comes home. There it is in the center. Will it get down? It does get down. They're gonna send Bircher. He's on his horse. The ball is coming in, but not there. Nobody covering second. Holt will come in on the throw, and just like clockwork, the kid comes through with an RBI single. Oh, baby.
Boy, if that bat was about 1.5 inches longer, it would have been a line drive to center. Hit just enough off the end of the bat to kill it between the shortstop and the center fielder. And we had the perfect angle. The center fielder had a shot at throwing it home, but that ball just tailed towards the dugout. Going to score easy. Great piece of hitting. Now this is a new ball game.
10th RBI for Holt on the season. Here's Zachary. Now we're tied at 1, bottom 5, 2 outs. And Adams swinging away. This one's fouled up into the parking lot.
And, with 2 outs, it's easy for Dawson to know that if he sees a swing by Harrison, he's going to anticipate it. He should score easily on these outfielders for Greenbrier on any hit to the outfield. 1
strike count. 2 down here. Adams digs in. Harrison walked and singled today. He's 1 for 1.
And it's never what you've done. It's what you're going to do. And I credit Dawson, who's not been hitting the ball well.
Adams lifts this one to center. Center fielder's got to drift way back. He's drawn a bead out there, still backing up, and the inning ends. But the Bulldogs tie this thing up on a 2-out RBI single from the doctor, Dawson Holt. And we've got new life here in Greenwood. Bulldogs needing a win here to get the conference championship, as they had 2 hits, 1 run, 1 left on base. No errors there in the bottom of the 5th inning. All right, quick break. We'll come back and get you ready for the 6th here on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 if you got it, sister.
Yeah, they're starting Cole at second.
Ta-da. Okay. We're back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. Greenwood baseball. 5A West Conference Championship on the line here. If the Bulldogs can win either one of these games, they'll win the title. Greenbrier's got a sweep to win it. The Bulldogs tied up there in the bottom of the 5th. Greenbrier put 1 across in the 1st. We go to the 6th, and it's Cody Kennan, their center fielder. Right-handed bat, and Aiden Kennan back to work for Greenwood and just missed with that one outside, ball 1.
Again, that's a ball as a catcher. You've got to go. You're not getting it, so you have to affect it some way. Go out and reach. The batter's not going to swing. Go reach that ball and catch it on that corner.
1-0 count, fastball. Swing and a miss there. 1-1 now to Cody Kennan, their center fielder.
You're going to see new life out of Kennan, too, knowing that now it's 1-1. It's a whole new ball game. He might as well just start pitching again.
Fastball over but low. 2-1.
And, I'm sure Coach Bach for Greenbrier is thinking they have to sweep to win it all.
Yeah.
So he's going to throw everything. This game means everything to everybody.
There's a chopper to Bashir. Went up and got it, Keith, on the big hop. Can he get it out of his glove? He did just in time and makes the play 5-3 on the putout.
Everybody turns and looks at Paul, at the umpire at first base. Are like, did he get him? Did he stay on?
Right. A Bronx cheer from the Greenwood faithful. Here's Garrison Blacklaw now, their third baseman, singled, flied out to center. He was cut down in that first or third debacle of the Panthers back in the 4th. And there's one down here in the top of the 6th, and a breaking ball's in there, nasty, called strike 1.
I don't know if there's going to be any home, and I just don't think there's going to be any home runs hit today. You're going to have to do it with base hits.
Yes. Fastball lifted straight over the top. 0-2 now to Blacklaw, their third baseman. Looking forward to heading to Marion next week. Good times over in East Arkansas. One out here in the top of the sixth. Bulldogs can finish no worse than the 2 seed. Now there's still some action as the 1-2 or the 0-2 just misses. Van Buren, Russellville, Mountain Home the Cyclones not mathematically out. If they can sweep today, they can get in the tournament. As this was popped up to Pettigrew at first, he's drawing it right there in fair territory for out number 2.
So you're telling me the Cyclones are still in?
They have a chance if they can sweep. See, I looked at today. They've got Van Buren, Mountain Home's at Alma, Van Buren and Russellville going. So if they can sweep Van Buren, they'll both be 7-7. They'd have the tie over the Pointers.
Oh wow! So the only 2 for sure, Greenbrier, Greenwood,
Mountain Home's in.
Mountain Home's in. So here's 3.
Yeah.
So wow, that's going to make today a lot of fun looking at the scores.
Ball 1 to Drake. Lifts this one to right. Carnes is drawing a bead. Still drifting a bit. Fighting the sun. No problem for Cat Daddy out there in right field. F9 if you're keeping score at home. 1, 2, 3. Keith for Aiden Kennan in the middle of the 6th inning. Big one there for the Greenwood pitcher as the Bulldogs and Panthers tied at 1 here.
Well, the key is going to be Aiden Kennan is at 90. He's probably going to go out one more inning. Their pitcher is going to go. He's going to go into extra innings. He's at 55 pitches, which is crazy. He's thrown 40 strikes out of 55 pitches.
Wow.
So he's going to be out there a while. And, you go ahead and I guess you throw Carnes out there. You throw anybody. You try to win this game first. So hopefully Aiden can get through the next inning, staying under 110 pitches.
I want to give a shout out to Colton Steakhouse, who furnished the pregame meal for the boys today. And I noticed that I guess they ran out of steaks because I sure don't see one here in the booth. I don't know if Brother Ronnie Deal got one over there either. Okay. I'll make a call to Mark Dean, and we'll see what we can do on that deal. I mean, goodness gracious, what's going on here? What did we miss last time? The Chick-fil-A or something? What? Yeah. Amazing. Tied at 1, bottom of the 6th. And here's Grant Carnes to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Greenwood Bulldogs. Carnes 0 for 2 today, ground into a double play and struck out. You know he's thinking about this at bat and ready to rock and roll. First pitch is a called strike, an off-speed ball that he'd spit on the way by. And he's in an 0-1 hole. Carnes, a sophomore, right-handed bat. Probably be game 2 starter. Fastball bounces in there. That time kind of spiked it a bit. 1-1 now. Both teams with 5 hits, couple of errors for the Bulldogs, trying to get around those, see if they can scratch out a conference title here in game 1. That's outside and low. 2-1 now to Carnes. And Buddy, as he do. 0 for 2 today. Here comes the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Good eye. That's a 50-50 ball there from Zachary trying to nibble on that outside black. Here it comes. Inside. Oh, just inside black. And Carnes is in around the count full now against the Greenbrier ace. Here's the 3-2. Carnes taps it foul about halfway up the third baseline. Carson Zachary. Full count. You know Grant Carnes is white knuckling here. He's wanting to get something in play. This kid's a gamer. We all know what he brings to the table any sport. Here's the 3-2. Chopped foul just past Coach Brewer at third towards the Greenwood bullpen. Where there's a little action. That might be Triple H. No, it's a lefty. As Zitzman down there kind of getting loose, playing a little catch in the bullpen. Doesn't have a catcher with him, but they're just playing catch. Well, who his other mate is down there. And swinging a miss. Got Carnes.
Well, what that probably means is Mitchell is going to be getting loose and coming from center, and Zitzman will go out to center field. That's usually been the rotation, is you bring in Mitchell to finish this, and that way you still have Carnes to start the next game and go Carnes, Hunter, Houston, game 2.
First one to Pettigrew's inside black, called strike. That was Holland down there getting loose with him. I don't know if Scotty hadn't done much pitching. Here's the 0-1. from Zachary. And Greenbrier's off speed's a little low. 1-1 now to Brady Pettigrew. Pettigrew grounded up to third, struck out. So another guy that's due today. Ball loose out on the field from some youngsters up on the grassy knoll. So we've reset. Here we go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here at the bottom of the 6th. We're tied at 1. Greenwood, Greenbrier. Swing and a miss from Pettigrew. That was kind of an ugly hack at it.
Man, 55 pitches, Tim, is pretty impressive at any level. I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, been really efficient. But he's not in the lead. That's way outside. 2-2. We're tied at 1. A low pitch count, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient. And then the 2 errors on Greenwood. We should be down, but we're not. We're tied.
That's right.
That ball's hacked foul right side as he let that one get pretty deep.
But this is what we've done. We've fought all year.
Yes.
You know, it hasn't always been pretty, but the kids never quit. You know, they're trained to have that bulldog mentality. They roll the boat. I mean, coach has got them in a great place emotionally and mentally.
2-2. There's a shot in the 5-6 hole, and Pettigrew's aboard with a 1-out single. Atta boy.
Well, we've talked about you have to do it at the bottom of your lineup. Well, they did their job. Bircher got a big hit that Dawson made in.
Yep.
Austin Mitchell moved him over into scoring position. Austin doesn't lay that bunt down. He's not in scoring position. So they did their job. Now the middle and the top have to do theirs. This is where they got a guy on. Skaggs has been red hot. Just put something in play hard and affect something.
Curious to see if he was going to run for Pettigrew or not, but he's going to leave him out there. Skaggs the DH, and other guys. Here we are, 0 for 2 today. 3, 4, and 5 have been 0 for before that single there from Pettigrew. Skaggs lifts this one up and out of play right side. Fire for strike 1.
And this may be a coach is looking at the dugout. It may be just a maturity thing that some of his faster guys, you cannot afford a base running error here. I'd take a little slower over somebody that's going to do it right.
Here's the 0-1 now. Skaggs swings. This one's lifted shallow center. They're playing real shallow. And Pettigrew got a great read, though. As a shortstop retreated and makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, just out in front. That changeup is just getting people to where you're hitting it off the end of the bat.
Well, here's Weston Pashier now, the last chance for Greenwood in the 6th. He's 1 for 2, singled and struck out. Good job of Pettigrew. I thought that ball was going to drop.
Oh, yeah, he could have been doubled off easily. He could have been overly aggressive, and it goes back to having a guy that's a junior that knows how to play baseball.
That's outside. They throw down and nearly got him close. So they threw behind him at first. We almost had to eat our words right there, but he got back and in safely. 1 strike to count to Kennan.
He did because he's a mature baseball player.
Pashier, rather.
That knew what he was doing. That's why he got back.
Yes.
He got off just enough.
Zachary's on top for Greenbrier. Comes home, swing and a miss from Pashier. He's in an 0-2 hole. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs with the base runner. Can Pashier find some magic here on a 2-out rally and get Pettigrew moved around a bit? Here it is, the 0-2. And it swung at one of the dirt. It bounces away. Pashier's got to hustle down. Did not. Don't think he probably would have made it, but that's one you got to get down there just in case. A strikeout for Pashier, 2-3 on the putout. And the Bulldogs with 1 base runner, a single from Pettigrew. Left another on base. They've left 5 on base, has Greenwood. 6 innings in the books, and this is what it's all about, guys. For the 5A West, 2 best teams in the conference, tied at 1 with the 7th inning coming up. We'll take a quick break. Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. Whatever you got handy. 30. Okay.
Brewer wasn't happy he didn't take off, was he?
I don't know. The Pettigrew?
No. Pashier right there.
Oh, I don't know. Well, probably not.
Oh.
What was they, 6'2"? Okay.
It's a junior. Zachary's a junior.
Oh, that pitcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
See him again next year.
Right?
Maybe we'll beat him this year and next year.
Yes. 6'2" softball in the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5. Good. Looks like the good doctor is headed on over to the field somewhere. He's hiding. He's left the perch out there in the center.
Anybody watching the live stream need some extra large Razorback gear? I'll have some for sale.
That's a story for another. I'll take extra large. I can't do extra.
You can't do
large.
extra
No,
yet.
Not yet. All right, listen. Here we go, top of the 7th, pitching duel, if you will. 1-1, tied up here for the 5A West Conference, and Aiden Kennan back to work, and a check swing from Caleb Harvison, their right fielder. He goes out into foul ground towards the Greenbrier dugout, first base side.
It's kind of like a game of chicken. Who's going to blink first?
Yep, that's exactly right. Kennan kicks and fires. Breaking ball got in there. Harvison thought it was going to hit him. That thing came flying in there. Front door nastiness. 0-2. That's what I used to do to Eric Sanford when he'd pitch to me. That's it. Got him inside black. Oh, Aiden Kennan. Magical. 1, 2, 3.
You know, if he can throw 9 straight, if he can throw an immaculate inning here and throw 9 balls and get 9 strikes, then he may get to come out one more inning.
Right. Well, here's their 9-hole, Miles Miller. 1 down, top of the 7th. Miller reached on an error, struck out. There's a hot shot just inside the bag. That's a fair ball. Certainly is. Down the third base into the left field corner. He'll have a double easily for the speedy Miles Miller. That's just a good piece of hitting right there, Keith.
It was. It wasn't a bad pitch. He did what we talked about on that inside pitch. He got inside a ball enough to get it inside that bag at third base.
And a hot shot, too, at that. So 1 out, a man at second base.
Back to the top of the lineup.
And Paxton Flag. So the Panthers have a man in scoring position, tied at 1 here, top of the 7th. Flag is 0 for 3. And here is Kennan. He's their leadoff. 1 spot. Breaking ball got in there for a called strike. Boy, Kennan's got that thing dialed in.
He's made a great adjustment. He kept leaving it outside, and now we see that he's working it in and across the middle. Aiden did a great job of making adjustment. Looking good today, as good as ever.
Here's the 0-1 to Flag, and it's up in the air, fouled out of play. Kennan's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, I'd throw a high fastball here. I wouldn't mess around with the off speed here.
Wind now favoring straight across to right field. Foul pole, really. Hadn't been a factor much today. 1 down, top 7. Here's the 0-2 to Paxton Flag. And there's a shot towards Holt. Gobbles it up at second. Over to first to get the out. And there's 2 down. 4-3 on the put out. And Ty Ruby, the last chance for the Panthers here. Over to third goes Miles Miller. Left-handed bat. Ty Ruby has doubled, scored their only run in the first inning, and Kennan's got him looking in the third and the fifth. Strikeout. No backwards K. And here we go. 2 outs. Hosley's got to be a wall back there. Was that a pitch out, Keith?
No, it was a ball that got away from him. He's trying another backdoor curveball, and it just kind of got away from him, and Hosley's going to throw his body in front of it to keep it from getting by.
9 strikeouts for Kennan today here in game 1. That's upstairs. 0-2. Or 2-0, rather.
You know, and I'm okay. You got a base open. This guy had a double, hit the ball well. I'm okay with if he doesn't throw anything fat and give him something good to hit as we see Coach Brewer walking out to talk to Kennan.
2 outs, 2 ball count. Maybe they were just going to make sure everybody gets on the same page. You certainly don't want to pass the ball. I like to just give the guy a fastball down the middle, let your defense work for you. I know he had and that was a great hit earlier into left field, that double, or into right field rather, down the line. The chess game begins right here, top 7. Greenwood needs 1 more out. Just so you know, in the bottom half of the 7th, it will be Aiden Kennan, Austin Bircher, Austin Mitchell, 7, 8, and 9 scheduled to bat in the Bulldogs lineup. And home plate blue will head out now and break up the party on the mound. Everybody gets heading back to their dugouts.
Aiden's right at 99 pitches, and I don't think that's a concern at all. We've seen Aiden go deep, and I think he's got it in him. What I'm concerned, just don't leave it over the middle of the plate. Still, I mean, I just don't think you can get hurt having a base open.
And here comes the 2-0. And that's a little high, ball 3 to tie Ruby. The other ones weren't even close. That one was just didn't break down enough. It stayed up. Here's the 3-0 to Ruby, left-handed bat. And didn't get him to outside black, and he walks him. So runners at the corners now for Greenbrier. Here's Jack Runsick. He's doubled, reached on an error, struck out.
And you're going to see Mitchell come in here. Coach is going to go and say, look, and Aiden wants to finish. Aiden's just kind of like, Coach, no. But, you know, he's kind of lost at the last batter. He couldn't get his curveball over, missed with a fastball.
Yeah, Kennan was sure wanting to do it and lie to him, tell him his pitch count's up, and he can find out later it's not.
You just pass the baton. It's not that Coach doesn't have faith in him. It's like, you know what? We've got enough guys on this staff. Let's pass the baton, give it to the next guy. Mitchell threw – the last time Mitchell was on the mound, threw probably one of the best games all year. I mean, just looked good. And if you can get that again, if you can get that lightning in a bottle from Mitchell again, then go ahead. We'll play another 6 or 7 innings, extra innings. I mean, we'll keep going.
Keith's talking about up at Bentonville last week, or I believe it was last Friday, or maybe 2 weeks ago. Mitchell threw a no-hitter through 6 innings against the Bentonville Tigers up there. So he's got that stuff. We recall him as a freshman. We had thought he was going to be one of the next coming of this Greenwood pitching staff. And we'll take a quick break here. Greenbrier's got runners at the corners. There's 2 outs. And their number 3 batter, Jack Runsick, the shortstop, is coming up. And Austin Mitchell gets the ball for the Bulldogs, and he will get loose. And we'll bring it to you. Top 7 here in the 5A West Conference Championship Series here in Greenwood. We'll take a quick break. It says Sports Hog 103.5. You can give me a minute here.
Well, what you just got to be careful is they've had enough time to plan over here, too. You don't want to leave early and freak out and throw it away or anything. A lot of times with a new pitcher, he's focused on throwing strikes, so if you can get him rattled, get him to balk or flinch, he's spent a lot of time with his base runners.
Now, is this where you do one of those leave early deals, try to get the pickle thing going?
You could, very well. I mean, I know it's tough with your 3-hole up. It's tough, but you may do it with if you get 2 strikes on him, definitely do it. At the high school level, it's just hard to get that right every time.
Right. Mitchell. Okay. We welcome you back to Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard. Conference Championship doubleheader here in Greenwood. Greenbrier and Greenwood, the Bulldogs leading the conference at 12-0. A split today gives them the title. We'd like to get that win right here in Game 1. They've got work to do. Panthers threatening here. Runners at the corners. Austin Mitchell in relief for the Bulldogs. And Jack Runsick will dig in their shortstop. A right-handed bat. Mitchell, a right-handed hurler. And just missed inside for ball 1. Nearly plunked him.
Well, you talk about, first and second in the league, top 2 pitchers in the league. You wouldn't want anything else 1-1 going into the 7th.
Mitchell 1-1 on the year with 6 saves. Swing and a miss. That ball was just fouled. Went back to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Mitchell's been on a journey to where, he's up for play of the year at center field, can play center field, has been up and down at the bottom of the line, stayed at the bottom of the lineup, but been up and down hitting. But, pitch was kind of the same way. We really thought he'd do a lot more pitching. He's just come into stride these last few games as we see a curveball.
Wow.
Come in for a strike that's called a ball.
Just high, so 2-1 now to Jack Runsick. Mitchell's ERA is 3.07.
Well, what do you see? You see a ball that was thrown for a strike called a ball. What usually happens right after that? Base hit.
You throw down. Yeah, I agree.
It should be 2-2 right now,
or 1-2,
or 1. Yeah, I'm sorry, 1-2.
And there's a shot to Bashir. It went right by him. You're right, Keith. Ain't that a thing? And just like that, the Panthers are on top with a RBI single from Jack Runsick.
Would have been a good play from Bashir to make that play.
Yep. Yeah, it would have had to have been a stellar one. Well, and you're right. 2-1 now, Panthers. And here is Carson Zachary, their pitcher, who he's got new life now. And laces one to center. It's a shallow shot. It's going to be down. Well, they send him. They're going to send him. Mitch, the throw comes home. It's cut. They go to third. And another run will score. Hollins out in left field. They moved Bircher to center when Mitchell came in to pitch. And Bircher was kind of looking like, why'd y'all cut that? That thing was going to be an out. But Ruby comes around to score. And another RBI single for Carson.
Yeah, it was tough. I don't know if it would have been close play. It was on the money. And there's no way you have time to relay that. It has to be just, and I almost like to see Pettigrew fake the cutoff and let it go all the way through, and let's have a play at the plate.
Here's Cody Kennan now. Over but low for ball one. 3-1 now. Panthers 2 across here in the top of the seventh. And the right-handed batting Cody Kennan. Mitchell came in relief. He'll need help from his mates now to try and get the win. That one just missed upstairs. 2-0. Still 2 outs.
That's one as a catcher. You've got to let that one. That's the opposite of the one we were talking about earlier. That's the one you got to catch it against your chest and let it look like it's down because that's awful close to a strike.
Fastball fouled straight over the top. 2-1.
Mitchell still with some life on his fastball.
Absolutely. Bulldogs going to need 2 in the bottom half at least to extend this game. Let's see if Mitchell can get this third out. Here's the 2-1 now to Kennan. Over but low. 3-1. There's a base open. Kennan was 0 for 3 today. Blackwell's 1 for 2. The next batter, 1 for 3 rather. This one's in the air. Should be an out. He'll get it. Carnes can't help. He's finally drawn the bead out and right and makes the catch no problem. So F7. And the Panthers take the lead. They got 2 across on 1, 2, 3 hits. So they lead 3-1. They've left 2 on base there. They have left 7 on the day. 3-1 now, Bulldogs. Oh.
If you're a Bulldog fan, you got. I promise you can sit there and second guess knowing what happened and say, well, what if Kennan would have left? Coach Brewer's done a good enough job, and he's around these guys every day. He knows what they have left in the tank. He knows what's in the tank. He knows where he wants to be, and he knows what kind of competitor Mitchell is. I'm sure that's not the way he had it drawn up in his mind, but you can't second guess his decision. To me, that's the same decision that I probably would have made, and it just sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Ask Van Horn. Ask South Carolina, one of the top-ranked teams in the country, got swept by Auburn. I mean, coaches don't always, pull the right strings, but I don't disagree. Kennan, like I said, he lost it. So what if you leave him in and then you give up a couple hits? It's, well, coach should have pulled him.
Yeah, right. Hindsight's 20/20.
Always 20/20.
Well, here's Kennan with a chance to do it with his bat now. He is 1 for 2. And here's the first one from Coleman, who's still on there, and it bounced in for ball 1. I don't have written down what Kennan did to lead off the 5th, but it was out number 1. He singled back in the 2nd.
Well, and you're going to see Hunter grab a bat and hit for Mitchell, which it won't matter if we don't score 2, this will be it anyway.
Yeah.
There won't be a top of the 8th.
Right. As Zachary bounced another one in, and Kennan looks at ball 3, 3-0. Well, got to have a base runner. You take to strike 2, make the guy come with 3 straight strikes. Here it is from Zachary, and that's in there for a called strike.
Against any other pitcher, I would probably say yes. Against this guy, this is probably going to be your best pitch to hit right here.
Here's the 3-1, and he did chop it towards short, gobbled up though. Good fielding from the Panthers. Man, that was close.
Yeah, that just wasn't a 3-1 swing. You don't chop and throw your hands at a 3-1. You're still swinging for doubles in the gap.
Yep.
I bet Kennan wishes he could have that one back.
Yeah, that was a good pitch to drive. Here is Austin Bircher. Bircher singled and scored a run back in the 5th, our only run today. Struck out in the 2nd, so he's 1 for 2. 1 down now. Bulldogs 2 outs left. Greenbrier trying to come in here and get a sweep and win conference. Bulldogs just need to win one of these games, and that's the ball outside. Hunter Houston has grabbed a bat. He's out on deck. Zachary kicks and fires for Greenbrier. That's outside, 2-0.
Talk about Zachary being a junior. We got to see him last year as a sophomore throwing with Husky in Greenbrier, and we'll get to see him again next year.
As a matter of fact, we beat Husky last year at third place, and this guy, I guess, probably beat us. I don't know if he was their Game 2 starter.
He was.
2-ball count to Bircher. There's a shot into the gap. It got through into left field just off this diving shortstop's glove, but it's a single, and the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Hunter Houston.
Great job of Bircher to attack the baseball and get a base hit. That's 2 we've seen from Bircher.
So Triple H in the 7th. Will bat for Mitchell. They go out and talk. The catcher flag goes out and talks to his pitcher. Looks like the Greenbrier skipper may be out of his dugout. I don't know if he's going to go out and visit.
I don't think he needs to yet. I think he's in a good place up 2. It's when the winning run gets on base you want to set your defense and talk, or when the winning run comes up to the plate.
Hunter Houston batting .226 on the year. Now, that's a different story in conference. I'll find his conference split, and it's .400. He's been pretty solid up there in conference play. Let's see if he can figure out this guy. Right-handed bat, Triple H, the senior, and that's outside black for a called strike.
And that's tough to sit and then be asked to go against this guy here, and you haven't seen that changeup that's so nasty.
Here's the 0-1 now to Houston. There's a lace the ball down. We get down, and it does into the gap, and it's going to be all the way to the wall. Bircher's on his horse. He's going to score. Triple H is running. He'll have a triple, and it's 1 out, and the Bulldogs have drawn to within 1 here, 3-2. Oh, baby, Triple H.
Huge hit to right center.
A 1-out triple to the right field gap, and Hunter Houston will add a book into his lore of Bulldog success. And now Greenwood has a tying run 90 feet away, and Doc Holt, the top of the order, around, and now out to talk to their pitcher is Coach Bach. Holy smokes, did Brandon Brewer push the right button there, bringing Triple H in Hunter Houston.
Well, he's brought, looks like he's brought Mitchell back in to run, so that is Mitchell back at third, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now this is with Dawson. I mean, I know you're looking right side or deep, but Dawson has a propensity to pop up in the infield. I almost safety squeeze, and a safety squeeze is basically it's a regular bunt that the runner has to read down close to the line. If the runner thinks he can score, he scores. I don't want to do a straight squeeze, but I would definitely consider a safety squeeze right here with Dawson.
Well, an RBI double or a single his last time up. He's 1 for 3. First pitch swinging and missed.
That's that changeup.
Yep, nasty. Boy, that's nasty. Haven't seen any pass balls from this guy. That'd be nice. A wild pitch. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, and there it is. Here comes Mitchell on his horse, and we're tied up. Oh, baby, we're tied in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out.
I would like to thank Tim Terry for the jinx of the not seeing a pass ball comment approximately 7 seconds before the pitch was thrown. Thank you very much, Tim Terry.
I'm here for the people. We've got new life here. I thought we were dead in the water after they put 2 on us in the top of the 7th. The Bulldogs, the bottom of the order, Keith, and a pinch hitter have scrapped away and got this game tied. Here's Doc Holt now. A 1-1 count with 1 out, and Zachary comes home. Holt reaches out, lifts this one to right. They're playing him shallow, and the right fielder finally drawn the bead, and out number 2.
That's tough. That's good, though. We got where we wanted to get. We got back to the top of the lineup. I know there's 2 outs with Harrison, but you've got a chance. You've given yourself a chance, and you've done what the Bulldogs have done all year is they fought and they don't give up. And you could easily go in there and say, woe is me, we gave up 2 runs, brought in Mitchell, but they didn't. They attacked.
Here we go, and he plunked him. We'll take a base runner. There's a winning run now on first base, hit by pitch.
And if you're coach, you got to be thinking he's going to go out and talk to him, but you got your best pitcher who has only 8 walks all year. He gave up a triple, a base hit. Now he threw a pass ball after not throwing one all game, and then now he's plunked a guy.
Is this not meeting number 2?
He's gone.
Yeah, he's done. And that'll be all for Carson Zachary. Wow, what a performance from this kid. We heard a lot about this righty from Greenbrier, and he, if you paid money to get in, you got what you paid for watching the kid pitch. But now it'll be up to a relief pitcher for the Panthers, and let's see who they're bringing in, Keith.
Zachary threw 29. He faced 29 batters, threw 88 pitches, 61 of those for strikes, gave up 8 hits, which you got to credit Greenwood on that. I mean, I don't think he's used to getting 8 hits. Gave up 3 runs, 3 of those are earned, 1 walk with 7 strikeouts. And we see Blacklaw. He's going to be, as far as innings go, he's thrown 22 innings, got a 1.27 ERA, giving up 10 hits. He's third on the team in strikeouts with 22, and he, again, only has 8 walks. He's going to be a strike thrower. He's going to go at people. He's one of their top pitchers. They're looking to go everything at Greenwood right here.
Wow, look at that big crowd out here today to watch these Bulldogs and cheer on Coach Brandon Brewer and his maiden voyage here at the top dog for the Greenwood baseball, looking for a conference championship. And again, this is what I've been complaining about, having soccer and softball all on the same day. Some of those folks at the softball game might be liking to watch this. Some of the folks at this baseball game might want to watch the soccer game. I've been complaining for years about it, and it obviously falls on deaf ears, but maybe one day we'll get that figured out. Well, here's Carnes.
Yes, big right here.
2 outs. He's 0 for today. Now, what about swiping the bag, Keith? Do you get this guy over in position?
No, you don't get an out on the bases.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the catcher's arm, but you just don't make an out on the bases.
First one to Carnes, right back at the second baseman. Gobbled it up, no problem. They force Harrison out. Boy, that's just an atom ball. That's tough for Carnes. But we go to some free baseball here in the Conference Championship Series in Greenwood. Panthers 3, Bulldogs 3. We'll head to the top of the 8th inning after this quick break. Greenwood baseball on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5.
What a game.
It'd been nice for to hit Durham.
Oh, it would have been hell if he was a true River Valley guy. He could have just jumped in front of it.
11-2 ball game. Woohoo! That's 2 seed. Softball. So that's 12:30 on Thursday, right? Come on, Doc. Okay. Top of the 8th, we've got bonus baseball. I'd expect nothing less for the 5A West Conference Championship, and the pitcher Garrison Blacklaw leads off and pops one out to the shortstop, Adams, for out number 1. Here's Drake Carden, now their first baseman. Flied out to right, hit into a double play, and walked. First one's upstairs to him, ball 1.
This is what we talked about, pitching. It's why you have to win conference and state tournaments and conference championships. You have to have deep pitching.
2-0 now. That one's outside. They've got Harbison out on deck, and that one just missed the black. Wow. 3-0. Here it comes to Carden, and that's in there for a called strike. 1 out, top of the 8th, bonus baseball. They scored 1 in the first. Bulldogs 1 in the 5th. Both teams 2 in the 7th. This one's fouled out of play. Right side for strike 2. And the count's full now to Drake Carden. High drama here at the Greenwood Bulldogs baseball field. Bulldogs 12-0 in conference. Greenbrier 11-1. Panthers have to sweep to win conference. Greenwood needs a split. Looked dead in the water here in game 1, but 2 in the bottom half ties it up, and here's a ball lifted to right. Carnes on his horse, back towards the fence, and he couldn't find it. Got close to the wall, couldn't haul it in, and it's a double for Drake Carden.
Oh, he drifted and drifted, and that wind did not help at all, and he kind of kept blowing him towards the flag, towards the right field line. That would have been a tough catch.
We've got a pinch runner coming in for Greenbrier. Number 11 is Landon Connell.
Senior night for the Bulldogs. They're going to recognize the seniors in between games. Sure would be nice in between games to be able to recognize them as conference champions.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a little bit extended break between games. Also, even if we win game one and win the title, they'll do the trophy presentation after game two either way. So we'll just honor the seniors between games. And Dustin might change his mind on that if they do get this win. We'll see. Here's Harvison now. He has singled, struck out, and flied out to right. 1 for 3. One out, runner at second. A double, and that one just missed outside, ball 1.
Good pitch by Mitchell. Slider, a breaking ball to the outside.
It's a good Panthers team. Been sound defensively, Keith. No errors. Gobbled up some hard hit balls. Here's the 1-0, and it's in the dirt. It gets past Hosley. That's going to allow the pinch runner to get over to third and a 2-ball count.
Now this coach from Greenbrier has got to have a decision to make. If he wants to rely on it's something to outfield, something to the right side. Greenwood's looks like they're going to stay back on defense.
Austin Mitchell in relief, the right-hander.
He's going to bring him in now.
Here comes the 2-0. And check swing, 3-0. One out here in the top of the 8th, tied at 3. Runner at third, a double and a pass ball moved him over. Or maybe a wild pitch, I guess. You always say pass ball, but Lady Bulldogs win game 1 over Greenbrier Lady Panthers, so they'll claim the 2 seed. That's in there for a called strike. Good pitch from Mitchell. 3-1 the count now to their number 8 batter, Caleb Harvison. They'll play at 12:30 next Thursday, the first round of the state tournament in Marion. Here's the 3-1 to Harvison. Breaking, ball was nasty from Mitchell. Fooled him.
I'd like to see that one more time.
Mm-hmm. Full count now. Runner at third for the Panthers. The go-ahead run here in the top of the 8th is Connell, their pitch runner. Here comes the 3-2. That's a little chopper out front. They'll hold the runner at third. Did he have time? Oh, he waited too long, Keith, and he's safe at first.
He went to check the runner to make sure he wasn't going, and that little time made it to where the runner was going to be safe.
How you score? That's a hit, right?
Yeah, base hit.
Yep. So, corners now for the Panthers, but the double play's in order.
You just have to make sure you get it. I mean, gosh, this is tough for defense, knowing you got to be perfect. You have to field it, you have to give a good feed, and you have to have a good relay and transfer and get the out at first. Otherwise, that run scores.
Miller's reached on the air. He struck out to end the 4th, and he doubled and scored a run in the 7th. One out here in the top of the 8th, tied at 3, runners at the corners. Mitchell comes home and over but low, ball 1. Hosley did a good job trying to frame that one up.
Yeah, he's got to get underneath it. When you see that glove go down, the perception the umpire has is that it's low. 1-ball
count to Miller. Mitchell comes home and the off speeds upstairs. 2-0. Top of the order looms on deck with Paxton Flagg. Now he's 0 for 4 today, but you'd like to get this guy right here and entice that double play and not have to mess with them boys. Here it comes. That one bounced in. Hosley was a magnificent job of blocking that one. 3-0 the count.
A good block is where you just keep it in front of you. A great block is what Hosley just did, to where he kept it on top of the plate to where the runner at first couldn't advance either.
One out here, top of the 8th. Mitchell came in relief in the 7th. They scored a couple on him. Bulldogs matched it in the bottom half. We're in extra frames, and that's inside. They walked him. So, bases full of Panthers now. Top of the order is Paxton Flagg. Struck out, reached on a fielder's choice, flied out to left, and grounded out to second.
Well, your corners have got to go 4 than 1. I mean, to me, that's the best double play for them, is make sure you get the lead runner and then go to first. Your middle infield's still going to roll it the old-fashioned way.
Infield fly rule in effect. Mitchell's up on top. And here's Flagg, a right-handed bat. Bounced it in. It goes past him and gets to the wall. That's going to take the lead for the Panthers. That wasn't in the cards.
It was not.
Runners advance up. 1 ball count for Flagg, and it's 4-3 Greenbrier now. Second and third for the Panthers and 1 out. Ruby out on deck, their left fielder. He scored twice, struck out twice. He's got a double and a walk, so kind of a hodgepodge with him. 1 ball count to Paxton Flagg. Mitchell up on top. Infield in. There's a ball, hot one to Bashir. He'll come home with it. Hosley had to block the throw. Can't find it. Now back to third. He'll go and nearly threw it away. And nearly tragedy again. Oh, boy, that's a tough one there, too, Keith. That's got to get that out. So now they're loaded up again.
Well, there was too much hesitation instead of just being natural. When Hosley blocked it, it was a bad throw. When Hosley blocked it, if he just come up and threw it.
Yep.
But he kind of hesitated, and it was the difference in the runner making it back.
So bases loaded, 1 out still, and here is Ty Ruby. Of course, double play in order again. Got infield fly going on. Pettigrew's up on the grass at first. Double play depth in the middle. Even with the bag at third, and there's 1 out. Here is Ty Ruby. And that's outside. Hosley knocked that one down. Ball 1. Moore getting loose in the Bulldogs bullpen. A right-handed pitcher. 4-3 Panthers. They scratched 1 across here. Scored a leadoff or a 1-out double. Came around to score on a wild pitch. Here's the 1-0. Breaking balls in there for a called strike. Good pitch from Mitchell. Ty Ruby, a left-handed bat.
Yeah, see if Greenwood has any magic left. Scoring in the bottom of the 7th to tie it. Going to have to score in the bottom of the 8th.
Yep. 1-1 count. Here it is. Swinging a chopper, foul. And so Mitchell's ahead 1-2 on this Ruby. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Bases loaded. Upstairs, 2-2. No place to put him. See Mitchell come with a strike right here. See if we can get him on this pitch. We need a line drive right to Pettigrew. He can step on the bag and double him off.
That's right.
Here's a 2-2 to Ty Ruby. And it's off the fist. Holt's got to go get it. He scoops, throws to first. They get the out there, but a run scores. And it's 5-3.
And that's the only play he had. You can't turn that to. He kind of fisted him again off the handle.
Yep. And Harbison came in to score. It's 5-3.
We'll have to get 2 more. Bottom of the 8th. Keep this game alive.
Runsick up now. He's a RBI single. Reached on the air. He's doubled. And he struck out. And the first one's a called strike. It'll be Pettigrew, Skaggs, and Bashir in the Greenwood 8th. Good spot in the lineup. 2 outs here in the top half. 2 across, though, for the Panthers. A boring game through about 6 innings has turned into a score fest here in the 7th and 8th. There's a ball hit hard but foul outside third base. 0-2 the count now to Jack Runsick.
And that's tough because Mitchie, when he leaves his 2-seamer inside, it kind of runs into the batter, and when he throws his slider, it kind of goes way outside. So Hosley does a good job of controlling those pitches.
Swing and a miss. He got him on 3 pitches, but the damage was done by the Panthers. They had 1-2 hits, 2 runs across, and they left 2 on base. They have left 10 on the day. It all comes down to this. Bulldogs again in their last chance in the bottom of the 8th. They need 2 runs to send this to even more baseball. We'll take a quick break. It's Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. Yeah, 30's fine.
The guy playing second for Peyton just hit a 3-run home run.
Never fails. We welcome you back to Greenwood Bulldogs Baseball Diamond. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Dogs again down 2 runs. We were in this predicament in the 7th inning, and Greenwood scratched out the 2 to tie. Can they do it again here in the 8th? It's Brady, Pettigrew, Braden Skaggs, Weston, Pashear. Here in the bottom of the 8th. They got to their bullpen now, and this is Blacklaw back pitching, a right-hander. And Pettigrew fouls the first one out of play. Strike 1. Righty-righty matchup. And Blacklaw brings it home. Upstairs, a little, kind of, maybe some off speed again there. Keith swung through it, did Pettigrew. He's in the 0-2 hole.
What's Pettigrew for the day?
That one's outside the ball. He has singled, struck out, and grounded to third. 1 for 3.
Him and Skaggs have been a tear back-to-back in that lineup. They've made the most solid contact with Harrison and Carnes.
There's a shot right back up the box, and it'll be a single. Diving second baseman couldn't find it, and Pettigrew's on the leadoff single, tying run to the plate. And Braden Skaggs, these Bulldogs won't quit. And Mr. 5 o'clock shadow over in the third base coaching box gets the credit for the mentality of this baseball team here late in the season. And fantastic work from Brandon Brewer. Win or lose.
Well, you can't tell them that they're beat. That's the thing is that I don't care what the score is. It's 8th inning. They got to get 2. You can't tell them it's over, that they can't do it.
Skaggs over 3. That's upstairs, ball 1.
And Coach Brewer will tell you, these games, this conference was won in September, October, early February, March. You know, when those guys were showing up at 6 a.m.
There's a chopper towards short. It's there to second. Got the force of Pettigrew. And a fielder's choice on for Skaggs.
I mean, that's how you win games, you know, in April and May in this conference, is how much work did you do in September, October, the summer, you know, and Coach was behind the 8 ball when he got this job. He had to come in and do work, and he did it. Their practices at 6 a.m., fundamentals, hitting, lifting, running, throwing. He's done a great job to get them where they were in such a short period of time.
Here's Pashear now, 1 for 3. Swings and misses at the first one. Strike 1. He singled in the 2nd inning. He struck out in the 4th and the 6th. The strikeouts ended both those innings, too. There's a shot, but it's towards short. Backhanded. 2nd for 1. Got him. Double play ball. That's it. Greenbrier's going to win game 1 here. 6-4-3 double play to end the ball game here in 8 innings. What a competition we saw today here as they battle for the conference championship. And both teams now 12-1 in conference, and it all comes down to this game 2 of this doubleheader to see who will win the outright conference championship here in the 5A West.
A lot of it's going to be see which coach can contain the emotion. You know, Greenbrier is going to be on a high. They're going to come out hot because they're going to ride that high, but you can't ride it the entire game. Coach has got to do for Greenbrier is calm them down and just start over. It's a new game. Now, for Greenwood's got to be just the opposite. You're down, you fought, and you just didn't score last. They won, and now you got to get up, and I'm sure they'll come out. They know what they have to do. It's no secret, and I'm sure Greenwood will do their best to get it done.
Well, we talk about bottom of the order, Holton. All 3 of our runs were scored. Bircher scored twice, and Mitchell scored the other one after Triple H had an RBI triple. He came back in to run, and Mitchell ended up scoring that run. But got to get some production from the top half, as we talked about. It's back and forth. It's a mystery every time you come out.
What did we end up with? 10 hits.
1, 2, Yeah, I've got 9, but it may be 10. I may have missed one somewhere.
Well, so you came out with 9 hits. Earlier in the year, we would have killed for 9 hits in a game, when we were early on. We just didn't get timely hits, and that's what baseball is. And
right.
Greenbrier got a couple early. They didn't have a lot of hits early. Matter of fact, there was one time when we each had 3 hits. They had a run because they had a big 2-out hit. And, I like our chances. If you play multiple games, it's going to be tough to beat Greenwood. You look at what they've done, Greenbrier's done. They've always thrown a shutout, and then the next game giving up a couple runs. So if you can still, and you've got Carnes on the mound who's been stellar. You've still got Mitchell. You've got Hunter. You've got plenty of pitching. Greenwood just has to hit the ball, get base runners, and put them away early today, which I think they'll do.
5-3 your final. Greenbrier wins game 1. Senior festivities will be taking place here between games. We'll stay with them on the live stream. We will go back to network action on the radio side. It is 6:24, so I will talk to you at the top of the hour. I'll talk to you about 6:50, and we'll get you back ready for game number 2, and it will be for all the marbles. Panthers looking to sweep Greenwood and steal a conference championship. Bulldogs got to win this second one here. A winner-take-all action here in this doubleheader in the 5A West. 5-3 Greenbrier wins game number 1 here in this 5A West doubleheader. Thank you to Keith Holt for joining me. Thanks to Miss Lissa back at the station for making us sound so good. Sean Holland, Joey Buffkin did all the work on the live stream, and we'll look forward to them getting back after it here in game 2 shortly after this. Let me go through our sponsors real quick. ABC Signs and Printing, Freedom Roofing, Adams Health and Wellness, Automation Engineering, Craig Gigrich, State Farm Insurance, MSG Waste Services, Scott N. Branton, and Top Notch Roofing. Duck's Body Shop over in Mansfield. They love big hits when it comes to Bulldog baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. Call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 479-928-5516. The place to get your ride looking right. Duck's Body Shop, 928-5516. And West Fraser Lumber over in Mansfield, proud to support the Greenwood Bulldogs athletics. Thanks to Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction since 1978, 479-831-9309, a member of that 72 state finals team. And Midwest Mariachi, our grill sponsor here at the stadium. And also want to thank Colton Steakhouse for the pregame meal. All right, I'm Tim Terry. We'll talk to you in about 25 minutes here as we get ready for game 2. It's for all the marbles here in the 5A West, Greenwood and Greenbrier. Panthers win game 1 5-3. You've been watching Greenwood Sports Center and listening on the River Valley's home for local sports, the Sports Hog 103.5. All right, I'll call you back here in about 25 minutes. Thanks. See you. Hallie, H-A-L-L, yes, sir. Right? It's like that pinch runner. His last name was... Those are the ones that always get me. His last name was Connell, or is it Connell? People say, oh, there's no names hard on our list. I'm like, yeah, that one is.